In the grand angle this morning, we talk basketball with Amadou Gallo, the general manager of the NBA in Africa. He was interviewed by Wahany Johnson Sambou, who began by asking him where they are with the African Basketball League at the moment.
On avance, on va commencer à jouer en début 2020.
We are moving forward. We will start playing in early 2020. There is a lot of work that we have done with our partner FIBA, working in different countries. We started with 12 teams, which we come from 12 different countries, and we will start the first season of the African League basketball by focusing on African talent. For example, on teams, on a scale of 12.8 of the players must be nationals, and August 14 can be foreigners outside the country. But of these 4, the 2 must come from other African countries. So on each ratio, there will be 10 Africans and 8 nationals. And the team can choose to have a ratio composed of nationals too. That is great, but if it is the opportunity that we have to build a real sport and basketball industry.
L'opportunité que nous avons de construire une véritable industrie du sport et du basket en particulier, c'est ce qui m'excite.
Amadou Gallo was also asked what Africa represents in the NBA, what interest the association has in Africa, and this is what he had to say.
Africa is very important for the NBA. It has always been. The relationship between the NBA and Africa dates back to a long time ago. First, we all knew Hakeem Olajuwon, one of the best players of all time. He is a top 50 of the best players of all time in the league. It was drafted in 1984 in front of Michael Jordan, and I think maybe if we look back at that, it shows how important Africa is in the NBA. And there have been others like Dikembe Mutombo, who is our global ambassador. These people have marked the ground, and we have seen a succession of young talents. There is a new wave today. There is an incredible momentum that Africa has within the NBA, and other players who have followed in Hakeem's footsteps. Dikembe Amanut, like Luedeng, who is from South Sudan, who has been twice an all-star, Joe Embiid, who is now a world star with the Philadelphia 16, who comes from Southern Cameroon, and Pascal Siakam, who was elected the most improved player in the NBA, and his team, the Toronto Raptors, led by our Nigerian brother, Mas Ujiri, who won the NBA championship this year, is just to tell you that Africa has a very strong place within the NBA.
He was equally asked what he thinks this emphasis on players like Siakam and Ibaka could help.
Absolutely. And now we've been talking about it with Marcia for decades. In fact, we wanted to localize all our development initiatives. That is to say that it is one thing for our young people to see LeBron James or Kobe Bryant or Stephen Curry. They are extraordinary players who make us dream. But for the young person who is in Abidjan or Nairobi or in Kampala, through their eyes, it is a dream. That is not they will achieve their dreams, because they are Americans who grew up in American cities that have all the necessary infrastructure. But when we bring back Pascal Siakam, who talks to young people and tells them that during the camps that we organize, they always tell them that a few years ago I was sitting where you are sitting. The dream suddenly becomes much more achievable, and that's the influence. That's the importance, the impact of seeing Toronto win this NBA championship that is hyper competitive.
De voir Toronto.
There are people I know who have been great players, who are legends in the league, who have finished their careers, who have become coaches, who have become general managers, and who never won this title.
Qui sont devenus général managers qui n'ont jamais gagné ce titre.